GCV gang, what's the deal? You already know. Those trying to stop you are making you better. Rejoice, be grateful, and give thanks for the opportunity to be tested and made great. It's an honor to have people want to try to stop the good you're doing. It's a wonderful thing. When someone sees you seizing the moment and that coworker, that person, that individual, that neighbor, that cousin, that foe, that frenemy, whoever it might be. When someone is trying to stop your progress, rejoice. When someone is trying to stop your progress, rejoice. It's an amazing thing to be that great, to have others notice, to where they make it a responsibility of theirs to want to prevent you from moving forward. When they show who they are and they want it to have a negative effect, what you should start to realize is that you have a far greater purpose than you thought. You have to understand that not everybody can take your greatness for what it's worth. You have to realize, even though you think that you're not better than anyone, you're no greater than anyone, there are still those who see that you are. And you won't make a big deal out of yourself. You just want to be successful. You're not going to overindulge in your own greatness because to you it's not that serious. Of course you like success. Of course you want to get ahead. Of course you like growth. Of course you like the idea of becoming someone better than you currently are. But it's not that big of a deal to you when it comes to success, period. Success is not that important to tear others down. Success is not that important to want to stop others from reaching goals and accomplishing what they're set out to do or to be or to have. It should never be that big of an issue. But regardless of them wanting to stop you or make things bad for you or make things hard for you or not want to see you accomplish your goals, it's an honor. And that's the best way to look at it. It's an honor that you are so special and so great and so phenomenal that someone would take the time to try and stop you or to try and get in your way. You become better. You become greater because when those try to stop you and when they try to get in your way, you have to use your mind to not only avoid any feelings of frustration or anger, but what you have to do is focus on what's important and bring your attention back to what it was originally focused on. And that was the goal you had in mind, the task you had in mind, the level of greatness you sought out to achieve. It is an honor to have them think that you're that special and that important when you know you really are just a normal, regular person. Of course, everyone's special. Of course, everyone's important. But when it comes down to it, you're just regular, degular, you know. Of course, everyone is special and great and all these wonderful, positive, affirmative statements. But you don't let it get to your head. You're not that egotistical about it. Everyone likes a challenge. Everyone likes a good, a good. Everyone likes a good challenge. Everyone likes a good, you know, competitor every now and then. Sometimes in life there is competition. Sometimes in life you will have to go up against others. But if there's no competition, what is there to gain by going up against another, other than your own satisfaction of how you chose to deal with a person? If you stop someone, you get to be satisfied that you stopped them. You get to be satisfied that they didn't accomplish their goal. You get to be satisfied that you got in the way of what they were trying to do. Some people, they feed off of the way that they deal with you. So when people are behaving strangely and doing the most, that's the one thing you should keep in mind: how much of an honor it is to have others try to get in your head and make things seem like you're not going to be able to get it done, or that you aren't good enough, or you're not going to be who you think you are, or they may try and sabotage you. Those who try to sabotage you, it's also a privilege. You are going to become the type of person who knows how to use their mind and move in a room full of vultures. So when people out in the world want to prevent you from being you and prevent you from aspiring and plotting and scheming, making plans to get ahead, don't stop and waste time and be upset over the attacks. It's really an honor and it's really a privilege for someone to think that you are that great that they need to prevent you from reaching a goal. What do they gain from you not accomplishing that goal? What do they gain from getting in the way of what you're trying to do with your life? They really don't gain much other than the satisfaction of knowing that they had a hand in your demise. But you're going to make that hand fold. You're not going to worry about who they are, what they represent, what they're trying to do. That's not your playing field. That's not what time it is. You're not on that time. You are too focused on winning. And that's the only objective. Not winning to the point of crushing others, but if they get in the way, they'll just have to be stepped on. People who get in the way of your goals, you're going to have to step on them. People who get in the way of your dreams, you're going to have to step on them. And by means of stepping on them, I mean taking the idea that they had of holding you back and squashing it and squishing it and crushing it, because you will not be held back. You will not allow a soul to hold you back. And you're not going to allow not even your soul to hold you back. So they don't stand a snowball's chance in 105-degree weather when it comes to preventing you from reaching a goal. Most people, when they have things they want to accomplish, they have what's called tunnel vision. And that's what you have. You are aware that you have increased and leveled up in the skill of having tunnel vision. If you've ever seen the Kentucky Derby, where the horses race, those horses don't see anything except the front. They don't see anything except what's ahead of them, what's in front of them. And that's what you need to do. That's what I need you to do. I need you to only see what's in front of you, even if you have to hypnotize yourself to believe that's what you can do. Because the devil is the author of confusion, and he will try to distract you along the way and get you to focus on every single thing that is not what you're supposed to be paying attention to. There's so many other things for you to be putting your mind on as far as levels of importance. And if somebody is able to get in your head when they try to stop you and that becomes your focus, that means that's what's important to you. So you can't make the things you don't want more important to you than the things you do. And that's what these people teach you. Anyone trying to get in your way or prevent you from winning, there's always a lesson. And it truly is a blessing. It should be joyful to you. It's a time to rejoice when someone may try to prevent you from doing what is on your to-do list. So don't take it to heart. Don't be offended when that coworker starts acting up, when that family member starts being who you know they truly are. All right, when that friend starts turning two-faced, or when that business partner stops doing solid business. Don't be dismayed. Don't be thrown off. And don't be discouraged, because success is going to be there whether you choose to go after it or not. The life you always wanted, it will still be there whether you choose to work towards it or not. So if you let someone complete their mission of stopping you instead of completing your own, what's that say about you? It says that you gave in and you were too weak-minded to get the job done. And you know that's not the case. Weak-minded and you don't even go in the same sentence. You chose to develop your mind. You chose to take time to develop yourself, your thought patterns, how you view life, how you view things, how you view opportunities. Most people are still out here getting mad over what others do. You chose to elevate yourself from that level of life. You no longer choose to get mad over the things that people do, whether they're being petty and cutting in front of you, or whether they're acting like they don't see you standing there, or whether they're blocking the way and doing some nefarious activities to try to gain a reaction from you. The best thing to do is to keep your eyes on the prize, because that's what's going to allow you to win. You focus on losers, you're going to lose. You put your mind on what you want, which is winning, getting the trophy, getting the accolades, getting the recognition, getting the new job, getting the funding, getting the grant, getting the check, getting the new opportunity, whatever it is for you. If you keep your mind on that opportunity instead of Jimbo Bob, Harry, Will, Hank, and everybody else that's hating on you, you'll be way more successful and way more ahead of the game. Some people are so intrigued by the idea of having haters they become obsessed with their haters' obsession of them, because most people think that nobody's worried about them or cares about them or is focused on them. And then when you find these people that are worried about you, hating on you, it could potentially make you obsessed with their obsession. And that's not productive at all. Don't become obsessed with their obsession. Those trying to stop you are making you better. It's time to rejoice. When people try to thwart your plans and make you want to give up, rejoice. The more they want to make you give up, the harder you, the harder you work. The more you put out, the harder you grind. The more anyone wants to make you feel bad about yourself, the more anyone wants to make you think you're not going to make it, the more anyone wants to make things harder for you or difficult for you or try to play you like you don't see what's going on out in this world. You don't see them conspiring against you. You don't see them having a whole mob of coworkers against you. You don't see the neighborhood watching you. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Like Luther said, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Rejoice. Be glad. Be happy. Rejoice because this is the day that the Lord has made. The devil uses people to take your focus off of the gift of life because you're too focused on happiness, too focused on God, too focused on the good things that are entering into your reality, which give you joy and make you peaceful and bring you happiness. And the negative entities want to bring you crappiness. So it's happiness over crappiness on this side. All right. Because you you favor the positive side of yourself over the negative side. And negativity is something that you don't want to entertain because it'll draw you in. And once you're drawn in, it's pretty hard to get out. This is where you see people who are baited into arguments, are baited into frustration, are baited into having a life of misery due to what's happening to them. When things are happening to you, rejoice because they're happening for you. They're happening so you can grow. They're happening for you to gain more of an insight. They're happening for you to be more motivated. They're happening for you to be more assured in yourself and your abilities and what you're good at and your strengths. They're happening so you could become stronger and eliminate your weaknesses, something that we all have to do. If you want to be a strong-minded person, you're going to have to strengthen your strengths. And by strengthening your strengths, those things that you consider weaknesses will automatically improve. When you strengthen your strengths, you're going to see yourself getting strong in other areas as well. When you strengthen your strengths, you're going to not see yourself as weak, and that even if that is an area of weakness for you. So instead of doing all this damage to ourselves like the devil wants us to do, when things happen that catch us off guard or by the blind side, it's best to maintain the type of mindset and attitude that promotes growth, that promotes positivity, that promotes peace, that promotes the things that you value most. You have to have an honor system within yourself, even if it's just with you, that when things happen, you're going to honor who you are as a person and carry yourself accordingly because you don't want to get sucked in or pulled in to any unfortunate events, any things that you don't want to happen. No one wants to be involved in unnecessary situations, and it's best to keep yourself out of it. Focusing on winning, focusing on being goal oriented, focusing on making your reality happen and getting your job done. When you're at the office or when you're at work, and when people are trying to be difficult, focusing on those that are difficult, that's what they want. That's what the devil wants. The devil wants you to be so focused up on that coworker that you get upset, get angry, and lose your job. That's what they want. That's what all the coworkers want. That's what certain managers want. That's what certain people want. They would like to trick you out your spot. Some of them are still trying because they see that they can't affect you the way they want. It's something in you that's not that's not getting you upset like everyone else. You used to, but you didn't see the use of it. So all the things that you used to do that had no use for you, you let go because they're not serving you. You will eliminate everything in your life that doesn't serve a purpose. And I advise you eliminate everything in your life that doesn't serve a purpose. Getting upset over things you have no business being upset over. You have to count your blessings because there are more things important than what the devil's trying to do. Is it more important to focus on what the devil's doing, or is it more important to focus on what God's doing for you in your life? And this is why the devil is the author of confusion, because he will try to distract you with his minions and with those who do try to stop you, with those who do want to see you fall, with those who do not want to see you ball. Okay, there are some people that don't want to see you have a good time and enjoy yourself and live your life the way it's meant to be. But focusing on that gives them all your energy and all your attention and takes precious time away from you and your life and what you could be thinking about, what you could be manifesting for yourself, and what you could be creating for yourself, what you could be bringing into your mind, into your heart, into your life. Those are the important things. So take your mind off of all the things that you don't want, because it's only going to create more negativity for you. And that's what negative entities want. That's what negative forces want. They want you to be focused on them instead of what you sought out to do, what you had planned to do, what God blessed you with, how good of a morning you had before you got to work, how good of a morning you had before you had to go meet up with certain people, or before you had to walk outside and see those gang stalkers in your neighborhood or your apartment complex or wherever you're at, your environment, whatever you have going on. All right. So it's best to always delete, control, alt, delete after bad things happen. You have the power to be unaffected. You can empty your mind. You don't have to stay focused on something that you don't that's not going to do you any good. Things that don't change and that won't change aren't going to. So if you focus on what won't change, if you focus on what just happened, if you focus on things that make you mad, things that upset you and frustrate you, what do you expect to get? You focus on something that makes you mad, you're only going to get more madder. You focus on something that makes you angry, you're only going to get angrier. And that goes for everything else. You focus on things that make you sad, you're going to be depressed. It's going to change your whole biochemistry. So if you focus on things that are good, things that are of good report, if you can flip your mind around, turn your mind around, which will allow you to turn your life around, and you can focus on things that are more important, then you're going to stay on the ball and you're going to stay on point. And you're most importantly, you're going to be able to stay happy. And that's what some of these people want to do, is destroy that happiness that they see you with, because you got that glow. You got the glow. All right. Your manager may not like that glow. Your neighbor may not like that glow. That coworker may not like that glow. Somebody in your family may not like that glow. So it's not a matter of what people like. And you can't focus on what people like or what people don't like. It's not about what they like. That's their own personal business. Your life pertains to what you like and what you want to do with it. And that's where that's what your mind has to be on. So that way you can maintain a happy attitude, the right attitude, a positive attitude, and the right outlook, a happy outlook, and a positive outlook. Because people who are optimistic, they live longer than people who are pessimistic. People who are pessimistic, they don't live too long. And I know people will say, well, what about this old mean, angry man that lived to be 115? He might have been unhappy and miserable. Who knows? Of course, there are exceptions to the law, but it is what it is. Most optimistic people do better in life and live longer in life because they have a mindset that draws good into it, and they have a mindset that draws better into it instead of drawing all the things that a person doesn't want. So it's really up to you. It's up to you what you choose to do with your thoughts. You can control the way you think. A lot of people think they're at gunpoint when it comes to negative circumstances. For the longest time, I was one of those people who felt that they were at gunpoint when it came to negative circumstances. Something negative happens, it's the end of the world. Make a big deal out of it, cry, fuss, boo-hoo, be upset, be angry, whine, complain, make a big deal out of things. But it's like you start to see that this is a problem, and you start to realize that, okay, other people are doing things to bother me, but what's the role I play in it? Is there a way since they're not going to stop, is there a way for me to stop? If they're not going to give up, is there a way for me to have what they're doing be less effective? And the answer is yes. You don't have to be held at gunpoint to negative circumstances. All right, something bad happens, you can get over it. Something bad happens, you don't have to go bad with it. There is a way that you could continue to control your mind through the most heinous circumstances, things that would bother you, get underneath your skin, make you upset, cause you to be angry. You don't have to get that way just because people want to see you that way. Y'all like that, huh? You don't have to get that way just because people want to see you that way. Don't let people push your buttons. Take the battery out the remote, take the control back from them, throw it on the ground, step on it, break it, incinerate it, disintegrate it, whatever you have to do. Turn it into smithereens, whatever you have to do. Just don't allow people to push your buttons anymore, because the more you allow people to push your buttons, the more power they're going to have over you. People love to have power over other people in certain situations. That manager, he's your manager. He's already got power over you. He wants to own you. He feels like that. If that's how he feels, ignore it. Don't be bothered by how other people feel. Don't be bothered by how other people view you or look at the situation. They can talk. They can have negative things to say. They can come at you in a disrespectful way, low key, to where nothing can be said or done about it, because it's like just this much room between what they're doing and it actually being a problem on paper. You may not like it and it may create a problem for you, but some of these people are so slick with what they do that it's not a problem on paper. And if you go to HR, or if you go to the authorities, or if you go to try to take care of the situation, they're going to look at you like there's nothing they can do. But that's what they want you to feel like and think. There's nothing that can be done about this. You just have to be you just have to be at the brunt of this person's negativity. But that's not the case. So it's all about how you use your mind. You have to train your mind to be unbothered and not be affected, and to stay on task, and continue to think about the life that you want, the good things that you want, the good things that you're blessed with, and everything that has to do with a positive lifestyle. Because that's the only thing that's going to help you and save you, is taking control back of your mind. Because if you don't, somebody else will have that access, and they're going to be pushing your buttons all day long. I'd like to thank you for watching this video. Smash the like button, smash the share button. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Peace, love, and light. We out.